Hi, what's going on, traders? Today's mid-market futures recap. Uh, I ended the day early today. I've been just sitting here watching and doing some other things, but it was an early day for me, not because I lost had some losses or whatever, but I made my money early, so then the market got really choppy, so I decided to go ahead and take what I my losses for my wins for the day. So actually, I could have did so much better. I kind of picked a bad day to not be aggressive, especially knowing that, as I did my pre-market insight, that I mentioned this big gap we have here, and I knew like there's a good chance that today we could fill this gap because usually we don't have any. The futures market doesn't leave any gaps. They usually in the futures markets you usually have if you gap up, the gaps get filled within the same day. So everything was bearish today, and I could have been way more aggressive. You see, we traded back down to the open, and we're kind of hanging out in the area now. If I bring up the 5 minute on the Nasdaq, you see this is the line I drew for basically the open of today's future session, and we've traded down. We bounced off of it once, came back up, traded up to the 50 moving average, and we're kind of retesting that area again. I do believe eventually we'll break that area and proceed to fill that gap. We could have some more pullback, but right now we're just kind of hanging around, resting after in this kind of in a resting pattern, leading up until the lunchtime. So my trades today, I didn't trade the Nasdaq, which I could have. My plan today wasn't really to trade the Nasdaq. I wanted to focus on the Russell, simply because um, I don't have to risk as much to trade the Russell correctly the way that you know I should trade based off support and resistance. So but just to go over the Nasdaq really quick, um, yeah, this this move here, um, I would have wanted to get in at this. This is a 4 minute chart, so I would have wanted to get in here, but because of my um, no, it was before the market was open. If I'm looking at the time frame on this candle correctly. Let me check, because sometimes the Sierra chart it's not right. Okay, yeah. So um, it was too early to get in on this, well, where I would have wanted to get in, and then we had the other candle come in that could have been a second opportunity. However, um, it's not really, technically I wouldn't have got a proper signal, so I just didn't take it. I would have ended up getting in somewhere down here, and I felt like I was chasing. So I was thinking when the first few minutes of the open, I was thinking to maybe take a trade on Nasdaq if I seen a good opportunity, especially since I figured that the trades would be bearish today, and we were starting to move bearish from the open. I was thinking to trade the Nasdaq, but because I didn't get the best setup, I just I stopped paying attention to it, and I just focused all my attention to the Russell. So there were some more opportunities in there, but I'm not going to go over that right now. Um, so to talk about my what I did for the Russell, um, I was a little I could have taken a trade up here, but because of this, a pretty decent um, bull candle, I didn't. I was a little hesitant to take this trade. Typically, I could be more aggressive on the Russell, but then Russell does have the tendency to like to trade in a range consolidated sometimes, even though the other like the Nasdaq or the S&P, they may be trading in a trend, while but the Russell will trade sideways. But however, I could have taken this trade, but I didn't. I just didn't like the setup, so I let this trade go, and I waited for another opportunity. I got one here. I went ahead and jumped in. I saw a lot of resistance to keep to for the Russell to bounce back higher. So I placed my order, got in there, and my target was down in here somewhere. But I started noticing that the market was getting really choppy. Also, from looking at how choppy the price action was and looking at the Nasdaq, I just I kind of got impatient with it, and I decided to go ahead and get out because I felt like it was going to pull back, and it ended up being a good place to get out, because if not, I would have got stopped out up here somewhere. So that's just simply based off of support resistance. So that was just a good read on my part. Got just doesn't happen all the time, but I felt like I stayed within the parameters of my strategy, and I don't have any regrets on that. So overall, I had a good day, and I would have been nice to get more, but I got 255. It's been that's probably one of my biggest wins in a while, in a couple of weeks. So it's good to have green on the screen and not just green of a couple dollars. Um, so I'll be done. I'm done for the day, and I hope you guys are out there crushing it. And I will see y'all tomorrow for the pre-market.